everyone, it's Lori from Stampinology, and I have another card for you today. This is a fun fold, and it's one I consider kind of a basic. So grab a pencil, write down some numbers. This one's going to go quick. This is what we're doing today. Yep, and you pop it up this way, and you open it that way. And because it's interactive like this, it seems to appeal to a lot of people. My husband was like, oh, look at that. That is so cool. And my neighbor was, she liked it too. She thought that was really interesting. She had come over to get something, and I had it on my desk, and she was like, oh, I like that. That's really different. So anyway, very simple fold, very fun to do. So let's turn the camera down and get going. Okay. Seems to be lined up good. All right, like I said, this is a quickie. It's going to be easy. We're going to cut two basic card bases. It's a card on a card. So your basic card base, half a sheet, whether you're using metric or imperial. This is pretty much standard for what we do here. Metric measurements are 21 centimeters by 14.85. Imperial is going to be 11 by 8.5. And we're going to do it, score it in the middle and fold, which you guys should know by now. It is 10.5 centimeters for the center, and for the imperial, it's 4 1/4. Now, we're going to cut our next card base, which is, I'm calling this the mini card for lack of a better thing. And you do this in your main, same color as your main cardstock. And it's 21 centimeters this way, or 8 1/4. So you might want to cut 1/4 inch off. And if you, depending on the direction that you're working, you're going to have a longer sheet for, see, when you're working with imperial, this is just the sheet off at the bottom, but imperial guys aren't going to be able to do that. So because this is slightly longer. And saying that, let me give you the numbers. This is 21 by 6.5, or 8 1/4 by 2 5/8. Oh, the 8s kill me. And this is, you see, this is, you can see that's the way it's going to be set up. Now I'm going to show you something. I don't normally do this. This is one of my pieces that I made up. This is the original one. This design comes from Jackie at Jackie Bullhouse at Cloak and Stampers. As you see, mine's a little bit different, and I gave it some metric measurements. This is a good card to keep on, like I said, like a basic, because this is customizable. This can be any size. I actually had this image in mind, and I cut this piece so that this image fit it. So something to think about. This can be a circle, by the way. You've seen where they put the two circles together, and then you do a little a score on it, so then it folds up. Or you could do a star. Anything that you have that you can clip together and make a mini card works perfectly with this. I happen to like the rectangles, but there we go. So here's our mini card, and here is our major card. Now we're going to make a couple of cuts here. On your big card, move this aside, you're going to cut a diagonal. And the diagonal is from your top left corner, I have to see, right, left, the top left corner down to the bottom right. And it's just a straight line. I'm going to use my paper cutter to do this. Hope I've got it where you can see it. I'm just going to line it up like that. If you are happier using a ruler and a cutting knife, that's fine too. Whatever works for you guys. You can also use this method on a guillotine style cutter. All right, so this piece put away for a rainy day. Oh, no, that doesn't work. It's a rainy day today. But anyway, this is our card base. Now, for our backing paper, you can do what I'm doing, or somebody made a comment and said, you can't do my cards because I use so much designer series paper. Not true. I do love designer series paper, and I love showing it off because there's no thinking. When you have a piece of designer series paper, you know what the colors are that's in it, so it's easy to line everything up. So this time, no, I'm not going to do it. What I'm going to do is show you something that we used to call this shadow stamping. I don't know if they call it that anymore. Oh, where's my piece? Oh dear, I have lost my piece of paper. Oh, I wonder if I was straightening up before I started filming. I bet I put it in my box here. Oh, come on. I did. Look how efficient I was being. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm going to claim anyway. And so all I did, this is from the Country Flower Suite. And I love this. That's all you can say. I love it. I think it's so pretty. I love the flowers. I like the simplicity of it. It lends itself well if you like to color. It lends itself well if you don't like to color. And the die set matches beautifully. So anyway, I have used on my focal point the more thinner flowers, I guess. And then we're going to use this one for the background. So I've gotten it out here. I'll move this off to the side. And this is super easy to do. And you want to stamp it before, I'm going to get out my scrap paper. You want to stamp this before you cut it, because we are going to cut it. We're going to be splitting it just like the other one. So start your stamp. I like to start in the middle. Don't have to. And then I just start going around, and I try to turn the stamp every time I stamp it so it doesn't look exactly the same. Let's do this one just that way. And this is sort of a big stamp, so I think it makes doing this quite a bit easier. Let's put some of these up top. Like that. But this was so easy to make such a nifty background sheet that I wanted to make sure I did this for you guys. And I want to encourage you, because I'm stamping on crumb cake paper with crumb cake ink. And that's what gives you this, this sort of shadow stamping kind of thing. Okay, let's do this side here. There we go. And see how quick and easy that is? Rather, I think it is. Also, I like to stamp. I don't ever show you guys my stamping because I figure, you know how to stamp. You wouldn't be watching me if you didn't know how to stamp. Stamping's fun. Stamping's easy. You don't even really necessarily have to have a steady hand, but it makes it nice. Oh, let me clean this up real quick. I've got my chamois here. Poor thing is about to have it. Never thought I would wear a chamois out, but it's taken me almost 2 years to do it, so fair enough. All right, and this is my background paper. And as you see here, I used gray granite, and I stamped it with the gray granite ink, giving you that sort of shadow look. So now we're going to split this to match. You're going to go from the top left down to the bottom right. So we don't need this anymore. So pop this in here. Because we're working off points on both sides, you want to start your cutter in the middle. Except that's not my cutter. This is my cutter. You go up and back, because if you try to run up that point, you run the risk of smashing the point, which is irritating. All right. You see how fast this goes together. I feel like I'm cheating. So what I did for the focal point is I just stamped it onto white cardstock with your basic Memento black ink, and I colored it with the Stampin' Blends. And since I have a thing for yellow roses, I did yellow, and I did granny apple green for the leaves, and I don't know if you guys ever go to the Facebook page, Stampin' Up! Facebook page. Every Tuesday they have Technique Tuesday, and it's usually people from our artisan design teams, you know, the best of us, and you know, they show you some sort of interesting technique. So I got this bucket coloring from that Technique Tuesday, because on my original it's just, you know, silver gray bucket. I guess I sort of had what are those made out of? Oh, where's my, all right, this up. This, your basic silver bucket. But I wanted to do something that matched this paper a little better. So I decided to do what they call rusting it. So I'll show you in just a second here. I mean, honestly, see how easy that was? I feel like I'm cheating. And now here's this piece. I did go ahead and stamp this ahead of time. I used the Memento black again. Come on. Got to get the last bit out of this. Can't waste glue. To shake it down. On this particular card, since I feel like oh, yep, I got to right up. I feel like this crumb cake is light enough to write on. Normally, you see me using a lot of white or vanilla or, you know, beige card liners, but I felt this, as well as this one, oops, this gray is light enough to write on as well. So I thought, don't have to put any white on here. So that's why I have you cut 2 of these pieces. I don't think I gave you the measures for this. For this layer, you cut 2 just alike, and it is 10.2 centimeters by 4.5. And you want 2 of these, one for the inside and one for the outside. And I didn't give you the numbers for this one. This is your basic, you know, first layer. It's going to be 10 centimeters by 14.3, and if you are working in Imperial, it is 4 inches. Yeah, 4 1/4. Yeah, 4 inches by 5 1/4. So, because we use those numbers all the time. Anytime you have a first layer like that, that's going to be pretty much the measurements. Now this piece is the same. Oh, I know what I wanted to try. I wanted to try something slightly different on this one. Let me grab out my background paper. In this case is Cajun Craze, which I just think is so pretty. And we're gonna, I think this next year we're probably gonna lose that one, which I hate. But it's a little bit lighter than, oh no, this is lighter than Cajun Craze. This is Copper Clay. So I'm just gonna flick some flicks on here. So let's give it some dots, make it look a little more countrified. And oh, there it goes. I don't think I was flicking it hard enough. There. Yeah, it's light, but you can see it. All right, and then I got it all over the edge. So anyway, that's another thing that you can do to give something a little bit of texture. All right, texture done. Let's put some glue on the back of this. Let's flip it over. Adhere to the front of the mini card. I got it scooched over too far. Come on. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to pop up the centerpiece on dimensionals. And this was the piece I was talking about. I showed you the image earlier. And this is what I got from the way you color this, which you use a combination of pumpkin pie and gray granite to color that. So if you're interested at all in, learning how to use some of these markers, and that's a pretty good resource, is going to the stamping page. I love Technique Tuesdays. It's really good. And, nothing goes away. I mean, it's Facebook. It stays in there, so you can go back and look for things. So if you wanted to go back and look for the technique, you wouldn't have any problem finding it. Now, because this is two pieces that I have lightly stuck together with a bit of tape, I'm going to make sure that I've got, make sure my dimensionals are going to hold it. Because I like making sure it's all stuck together. All right. Love dimensionals. I hate these little covers. Somehow I had one stomping up my sink in my kitchen. We had to plunge the kitchen and popped out. That was annoying. I don't know how it got into the kitchen sink. I probably never will know. But I think at night, they jump out of the trash can and run around the house. Paranoid much? Okay, and then glue this down. I told you this was going to be a super fast one today. Now you could also use tear and tape here if you want. Instead of doing an image on the front of the card here, you could do a label. The label would look good. Any kind of greeting on the outside of it. Now I try to line this up, getting equal space top and bottom, and equal space side to side. You won't necessarily, especially if you change your numbers around, you won't necessarily have an equal border all the way around. This one has actually got a bit more border top and bottom. Unlike this one, oops, here we go. See, this one has an equal border all the way around, but this is for a much larger picture. So like I said, I've got all the numbers for this that I've given you. They're also going to be on my website. But there you go. I hope you guys like this. Like I said, short, sweet. I consider this sort of a basic fun fold. This is one that's going to serve you well because all ages and genders seem to like this. It's because it's got the interactivity to it. You know what? Now that I have flicked the dots on there, I kind of wish I'd have dotted the outside here. I may go back and do that as well. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today. I know, short and sweet. I hope you have a wonderful weekend and the rest of your day is crafting happy. So I will see you next week. If you are watching me on Facebook, I always appreciate a heart. If you are watching the replay on YouTube, then a thumbs up is awesome. And you can always subscribe for more content like this. Thanks again.